Howdy, it's been a while. I took a little bit of a break. I got busy with my other obligations. And now I'm back making some Rivals content. I actually need some hot takes because it's been like a month since the last episode. I need some fresh hot takes about the game in the comments here. But for today's video, I'm going to focus on a little bit of the news and some of the Reddit posts that have been trending for the past week and maybe the past 2-3 weeks since I missed a couple of big discussion pieces over this period of time. Here we go. All right, hot off the press is actually Marvel Rivals revealing their 1-year gift available on May 15th, which is by the time you watch this upload. It's called Galacta's Gift. And as of the recording of this, which is the night before on May 14th, there's a big piece of controversy in this free gift that they're offering. They're basically saying, hey, play the game starting on May 15th and you get a bunch of free things, including nameplates, sprays, Chrono shield cards, and even a costume coin. It's a really short video. Let me play it out for you. A very inoffensive video when you look at it very quickly. It's like, oh wow, they're giving you a free coin to buy a skin. That's like the bulk of the video here at the end, right? Play the game, earn a costume and more for free coming on May 15th. But the big thing that is getting people up in arms about is this thing right here called the Chrono shield card. You get 4 of them here, 4 of them here, a total of 8. But if you quickly pause it here, it says Chrono shield cards. You can activate a Chrono shield to prevent point loss from a defeat in competitive. If one is active, using this won't consume it. Chrono Shield's cards will be automatically cleared at the end of the season, a limit of 20 in total, but they're offering 4 and 4 right now, so 8 total for free for playing for this gift, which implies that you may be able to purchase Chrono Shield cards. And if you are able to do this, I mean, the matchmaking in the competitive system in this game has already been under hot water with the whole EOMM, engagement-based matchmaking, and all these other theories and things that are, and just anecdotally, people are just not having a good time in ranked or in the competitive experience. And Chrono Shield, if people don't know, is basically a way to stop you from D-ranking. Chrono Shields I know applies for like what, bronze, silver, and gold, and maybe platinum. Somewhere in those ranks will protect you from D-ranking. But if this is implemented in the game where you can either purchase Chrono Shields or even just giving these things away, any sort of semblance of making this game competitive is out the window. It's kind of a joke. Ranked is a joke. Let's just call it for what it is. These medal ranks are going to be absolute chaos. People are able to just spam these and never D-rank and incentivizes trolls. People throw them. They're like, I don't care. I'm not going to D-rank. Doesn't matter because like I'm protected by these Chrono Shield cards that I just got for free. And this has been heavily criticized all over the comments right now, all over Twitter. Let's take a look at Reddit, which is obviously what I'm supposed to be doing this video on, and what people are saying over here. New Chrono Shield card 7 hours ago, starting to pick up some upvotes over here, which is obviously a screenshot of the thing. This doesn't sound like a good idea at all, of course. Oh, an update as of 53 minutes ago. It's been confirmed that they won't be purchasable. Okay, so I take that back. I don't know where this confirmation was. Maybe they've clarified in the last couple of hours because of the negative feedback. But if you just scrub through the comments here, like all over social media and on Reddit here, everybody's saying this is genuinely a bad idea. People will throw games because they have Chrono Shield cards. There's terrible dip in quality of the matchmaking. I don't even need to scroll down. All in all, right now, the news of this, terrible decision by NetEase, and people are pissed. People are like, oh, is NetEase going back to their old ways where they kind of just squeeze it and nickel and dime every player out of their money? Because they've had a history with other games and mobile games where they just kind of squeeze the money. Doesn't matter what the player base is, after 2 or 3 years, take all the money and then kind of walk away with it. We hope not, because we all, I mean, myself included, I enjoyed Rivals for what it is. I still kind of enjoy, I play it casually now. I play only once or twice a week. I don't want this game to like fail by any means. So like we need to, you know, speak up and be like, hey, this is not a good idea. Please remove this. And if you guys want to echo your sentiment, please let them know. I have another post here, also 5 hours ago. Yes, terrible idea. It keeps on continuing. This commenter says, yeah, this is like, if I want a loss without consequences, I'll play quick player AI. The entire point of ranked is to achieve something based on skill and hard work. Only way I see this working is giving bronze players a chance to get better teammates. Yeah, everyone's just disinterested. Okay, I've also left Reddit because they just posted this literally like an hour after I started recording, so perfect timing. Let's look at some other news. Marvel Rivals patch is going to be hitting on May 15th, 9 a.m. UTC, so like 3 or 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the literally a couple hours. By the time you watch this, it will be live. First thing here, get ready for Galacta's Gift, which we just covered with the whole like, you know, Chrono Shield, like cool what they give you, like, you know, costume tokens or whatever, and cool other cosmetics, but the whole Chrono Shield cards, Get that shit out of here. But in other news, new skins in store. They have a new Punisher skin called Dangan Ronin bundle and the Namor Retro X uniform bundle. We can throw up a picture on the screen right now of what it looks like. Season 0 Battle Pass returns. So the Season 0 Battle Pass makes a limited time comeback. If you missed it out before, now's your chance. Head to the Battle Pass interface and hit the Nexus in the top right corner. Open the Reality link point, then purchase the Season 0 Battle Pass. Very cool. The window to purchase it will be May 15th to May 29th. And I think there was another Reddit piece that I glanced over that I didn't click the thread, where people are like, what do you guys think about the Battle Pass returning? And honestly, for me, I think it's totally cool. If you missed out on cosmetics, now you can get rid of your FOMO by buying it later. I feel like people who kind of gatekeep skins being like, if you got rid of it, like, why bring it back? I earned and purchased my hard-earned skins back in Season 0. Like, I want this exclusive Mantis skin. I don't want anybody else to have it. Like, you bought it, you enjoyed the skins, you're probably not even using those skins anymore. And even if you are, like, why gatekeep it? If other people want to buy it and rock it, so be it. Like, who actually cares? I think it's cool that it's returning, and anybody who says otherwise just have like this weird superiority, gatekeepy personality that I just don't really vibe with. I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, next, a new feature in the custom game, a tournament mode, a tournament room, or a new tournament advanced band pick setting has been added. Players can now freely experience this band pick feature in a tournament room custom game. I mean, this is cool. I kind of wish the custom game had more knobs to turn, because like I obviously film a lot of Mythbuster and random content, and I love the customization and options I have in Overwatch, but in this game, every time I try to film stuff, I have to go to the training range and turn on friendly fire, which is the most annoying thing ever, because if I want to demonstrate something, I'd have to use it on a bot, but the bot is actually friendly to both players, even though friendly fire is on. So I'd have to boot up a custom game and like go into a game, and like if I want to test something with an ultimate, I need a dummy player, a third person, so I can farm ult off. Like, allow me to have like ultimate charge sliders or ways to kind of like have a sandbox mode to do stuff. And I think not only me as a content creator would benefit from it, but a lot of people would, to kind of like test and play around with their heroes a little bit more with different interactions. But in any case, step one in that direction with the custom game. Cool. For the console, they say they now have default costume sound effects toggle added for a better experience. And there's some fixes, some voiceover language, a mix up in the custom game modes. Maps and modes, they patched a bug on Krakoa and Clintar that could trap players. That's probably the Jeff and Doctor Strange bug, right? And a couple of other small bug fixes here that I won't go over. Let's move on to the rest of the Reddit threads here. All right, some juicy threads that I missed out on recently. Dive supports getting blown up, and then this going viral on social media on what you're supposed to do. Let's take a look here. The title of this quick little video is, how am I even supposed to react to this? And it's a cloak and dagger, probably getting one shot. Is a Black Panther coming in and basically one-shotting Cloak and Dagger right here. So how am I supposed to even react to this? The comments get a little wild because you get a nice healthy mix of people trying to offer some constructive feedback and some other support players having a very there's nothing we could have done kind of mentality. And listen, I am a support player, but I've also been playing competitive games. I've been playing competitive Overwatch for many, many years. There are answers to this, believe it or not. It's not as broken as you think. I actually implore more support mates to actually try Black Panther or try some of these dive DPS heroes once in a while and just see. It looks easy, but like there's a lot of times you try to do your combo, you just get blown up, and then you just feel like you can't do anything. But then when they get away with something like this, a lot of support players will cry that they need peel or something like that. So the real answer to this, how are you supposed to react to this? You're actually not supposed to. You didn't know that they had a Black Panther. So now what do? You adjust. You have the information, and now, oh, actually, let me backtrack. One thing you could do in this situation is actually when you come out, you're kind of just like blindly looking forward. You have to kind of like know your map angles and kind of check popular flanks. I actually do this no matter what support I play. When I play on this map, I check that little top area. Sometimes I look for Spider-Man. You just have to be like aware of heroes that have capabilities like this. You kind of get trained with this in Overwatch with Sombras. Once you know that they have one, you check common angles and places they can come from. But in this game, you have to deal with what? Psylocke, Black Panther, Magic, Spider-Man coming from these angles, Iron Fist. Your head has to be on a swivel. Now, let's move on. Like, you died to this Black Panther. A couple of options here. Number one, you are a little far from your team. You took half a second to turn around for what? To check. You already got separated. Obviously, your Thor kind of used his little like dash thing and like created too much space for you, so they couldn't really peel for you. But even if they were turned around, you got what I call comboed by Black Panther. It's a combo where you throw both of your spears down and then you dash. But if you don't get this combo off, you are actually dead because you have no escape. You have no more dashes and you are cooked. So it's one of those like high risk, high reward plays that he does, and he got away with it because you're isolated. But moving on from this, like the way supports and strategists are supposed to deal with dive is you have to be aware. And a lot of times just surviving their initial combo is more than enough because they get put in a bad spot. And if your team turns around and helps you, great, you can punish them. If not, playing Dead by Daylight in a sense like this actually offers value because you're drawing attention away. I can't tell you the amount of times I've literally won team fights for my team by just literally running around in circles. And think about it this way, you have to use your cooldown. Some people are too hesitant to be like, why would I want to waste this cooldown on this person jumping me when it doesn't seem optimal? But remember, if you're dead, you can't use any cooldowns, period. You're out of the fight for 30 seconds. So you got to unload everything. So now that you come back from spawn, you know they have a Black Panther, you press tab, you can see their full team comp, you're ready, head on a swivel, check, look, you hear something happening, bubble immediately for yourself on the ground, and then maybe like throw a couple of your dagger shots right back at them because there's a splash heal, and then maybe swap forms, blind them before they come in. You can phase up and maybe like create some space and separation between you. Those are all options, and getting dove as a support is a skill check. It's not fun. It's a separate argument to say whether, like, I understand it's frustrating and it's not fun, but it is a skill check, and these are heroes that are going to exist in the game, and it's just something you're gonna have to deal with. Trust me when I say my most miserable experience playing Overwatch in 2016 was playing Lucio Zenyatta, if you know what I mean. Lucio Zenyatta, back in the day when there was like very few supports, I was playing Zenyatta and it was like a Winston, Diva, Lucio Zen, and like Genji Tracer. Me as a Zenyatta, I get cooked. I get blown up every fight, but my team usually trades back. It wasn't fun because I'm the prime target, but this was the meta and I just had to play it so I didn't get flipped. I had to play Zen, and my job was to just survive, be aware. Sometimes my team doesn't peel for me because you have to assess whether my team counter diving their backline versus peeling is better value. And a lot of times it wasn't better value for them to help me. My job was to just stay alive as long as possible. But yeah, I ended the game like, 5-10, but I did win, but it wasn't fun. So again, I understand it's not fun. Like these metas are fun for DPS heroes, and a lot of people be like, yeah, dive is the best meta because it's fun to play high movement characters. But for support mains, I feel you here. It's not fun for us. My favorite comps to play are the front to back comps because they're easy and relaxed, which is what a lot of strategist players in Marvel Rivals got used to. No flanking off angles, no tracers, no Psylocks because she wasn't meta for a while, no Black Panthers because they kind of got phased out around early season 1. It was all like triple support front to back, and you got used to just chilling and staring down one choke point. But like in a game like this, a hero shooter, and the game's evolving, players are going to get better. You're going to have a bit more awareness of your surroundings and the capabilities and hero kits you're going to have to deal with. This is going to be part of it. That is just the cold hard truth. I'm sorry to say it if that's not the answer you're looking for, but that is how you are supposed to react to this. And hopefully that's like a more nuanced answer and a bit more reasonable than like just being like, just get good. Like there's genuinely ways to play around it. Okay, so now here's this post 22 days ago. It's kind of over for now, but I missed this bit of news, but there was a support strike where a lot of support or strategist players were like, hey, no peels, no heals, because they were unable to deal with Spider-Man and a lot of dive heroes that were pretty prominent this season, including the Emma Frost and Psylocke having like the 2 clones or whatever, and all the dive heroes coming back. Sometimes peeling isn't necessarily like even the right answer, because if you do get doped by multiple heroes, it is very hard to deal with. But there was a support strike in that, and it was like exacerbated by Necros's comment, but it wasn't even like that true because people were kind of like hyper fixating on a Necros comment about support players from like a season and a half ago or whatever, not even relevant to the season when dive wasn't even a thing, when he was tilted after a game and muttered under his breath that support players are trash, blah 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 blah. I didn't touch on this because obviously I was away doing Overwatch and other stuff, but like, in short, I thought this was the stupidest thing I heard in a long time. I'm just gonna give it to you straight. I can empathize a little bit with the frustration of dealing with dive, like I said earlier, but the fact that people are scapegoating one streamer in a pool of in a game that has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of players, if not millions, is the funniest thing ever to think he has that level of influence. But I mean, I guess the influence means something because over social media specifically in this bubble, it did make its waves, so now people heard about it. But before that, like before something kind of like a post like this went viral, like he muttered something under his breath saying, yeah, supports are trash, like months and months ago, and they used that to be the gotcha moment to go viral and be like, what he said, like, I challenge you to play support, it's so frustrating, blah blah blah. The blame game was stupid, and as a community, I think Flats has been saying it too, the community is like at large, the rage baiting, it's cringe, and so silly and so stupid. I was just like, what are you guys talking about? And it's only on social media. I feel like I did play a little Rivals in the interim, and like nobody was support striking or anything in my game specifically. Obviously that's just anecdotally speaking. I don't know if that was genuinely happening in your games, but it just seemed like a social media movement to get something to happen. And to be fair, Rivals did patch like last week, and they buffed a couple of supports. I'm not sure if that was in reaction to the people striking, quote unquote, but here we are. Necros isn't completely guilt-free. Him and some other, lot of DPS and tank players. This is not even just like an influencer Necros thing. This is just like a lot of players in general often do like scapegoat the supports, and you're asking for some basic respect. Yeah, but it shouldn't just be like for the supports. Just basic respect overall in this damn community. Outside of it all, to be called brain dead or worthless, I'm gonna keep it real. It happens to me. I play on an anonymous name early on, and people will flame and say some pretty obscene things, but I've seen a lot of, not even directed to supports. It's an easy scapegoat to be like, where are heals when you're the one feeding as a tanker, DPS or whatever, but it's just like overall. And people also blame the other like 5 and 12 Spider-Man player doing nothing. Oh, our Spider-Man's stupid, and you know, why are you playing this hero that you suck at, blah, 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 or like, oh my god, our tank doesn't take space, and blah. Just overall, as a community, we just need to do better. Stop with this whole like blame game thing. It is honestly the most tilting thing for like one lost team fight and somebody to mutter under their breath that it's this person's fault. But this is one of those you have to like take a step back and be like, guys, what are we doing? How is this like conducive to a win? Just be like, it's this person's fault right off the rip, whether it's support, whether it's that one damage hero, whether it's that one tank player. Like, what are we doing? But luckily this has kind of died down. And also, like, top comment here, what the fuck is a Necros? This also goes back to the point that I kind of forgot earlier, is like the influence that one creator has is not as big as you think. It's like a tiny little droplet in the big scheme of a big casual community, a big community like this. Like when you ask anybody who just plays a bit of Marvel on a Friday night, they may not even know who Necros is. They don't even know 90% of the influencers. A lot of people just boot the game to play. I will say, like, an easy comparison, not to toot my own horn, is I've been in Overwatch for a long time. Okay, 8-9 years. I do get recognized often when I like queue like Stadium or any of these modes, but like there's like a whole slew of even more casual players who don't even know who I am, don't care, they don't consume any content on social media, they just play the game. So like to say he had that level of influence is also a little too astounding, but I digress. Overall, we just need to be more respectful as a community overall. Wow, what is this? A picture. Target priority is more important than aim. How to play tank or DPS? Are your supports being dived? If yes, protect them. If no, dive enemy support. This is kind of a fun little like meme, but it was flagged as a discussion with a decent amount of upvotes, but I actually have to disagree with this. If your supports are being dived, protecting them is like an option, usually a safe and good one, but like there's times where like that is not your best option depending on how far away they are, where they're playing, what cooldowns you have. Especially if you're playing a tank, even a solo tank, you're not, if you turn around and turn your back to help your support getting dove, you turning your ass to the enemy means you also blow up and you lose the space you're controlling. And not all tanks can peel. It's actually better that they not necessarily dive the enemy support as well, but they just hold their ground depending on the hero they play. Ensure that this area is not breached by anybody else, and the only people diving the supports are the dive heroes that have vertical mobility to bypass that. And whether they get help or not is dependent on like where they're playing and where the rest of your team is playing. So this is a pretty like low generic tip, but like I would not follow this because it's contextual and it really just depends. So this is actually not how to play tank or DPS, but this is one way to do it depending on the circumstances. That makes sense. Last couple of pieces. Nearly 6 months since release, how bright is this game's future? How do you feel about the current state of the game? Update, patches, and skins. Let others know what you think. So I guess I'll end off this video with my thoughts on this, and then we'll move on from here. And again, remember to post some hot takes in the comments because I need them, because I'm going to start going through them again and making it a weekly series. So 6 months into the release, how bright is this game's future? Well, I think the game will stabilize, and it already is stabilizing. It's no secret that like the game had like a huge boom in December when it first came out, and there was no way that was going to be sustainable. Like 600,000 concurrent players is nuts at its peak. But more recently, it's been like 150k peak on average per day now. Halfway through another new season. Live service games will have peaks and valleys, right? When a new content drop or new patch hits on a brand new season on day 1 of the season, or a mid-season patch or a new hero comes out, you'll have a spike again. But on its lows right now, I think it's at like 49,000 concurrent at like, 5 a.m., which is a little low, but like I get it, it's the morning. But this is global and PC Steam numbers only. We don't know how many console players are playing, but we can assume it's still a very healthy population. And I think as long as the game doesn't make stupid decisions like the Chrono tokens, and they kind of clean up the matchmaking, like that's a big point of contention right now, I think it could stabilize and be a pretty healthy, solid alternative hero shooter game. It's Marvel. It's still pretty fun if you don't like play every day and like browse social media. It's definitely like a nice like kick back and relax kind of game. But like I've always dubbed this game as a casual, like unless they like completely shift this matchmaking around, it is what I dub casual competitive, where it's like loose but it's nowhere near as refined as some other competitive games with true competitive balance. But that's not the angle they want to take, simply because it's Marvel and it's free to play. Like, if this is their target audience, it's going to upset the people who don't like the Chrono Shield, Chrono tokens, or Chrono, yeah, whatever, myself included, because I'm a more of a competitive player. And if it's that casual, I may not participate or play much ranked any longer. I'll just play occasionally to, like, you know, keep it a casual game for me, where I'll just do my battle pass and get some cool skins, click some buttons, click some heads, and then call it a day. So in terms of the game's future, I think it'll always have a steady fan base, but it's definitely trending downwards. Even with new hero releases, I think their hero design is great. I think a lot of their skins are great, but like, it's the matchmaking that's like, and the community that's mostly holding this game back. Also, I don't know what it is with the maps in this game, but I don't like them. That's the one, like, I've commented on how I like the heroes and their hero design, but the maps in this game are ass. Like, the last 3 maps they released, ass. And they like gate-kept competitive maps. They made map pools when you only have like 9 maps in the game. Now you have like 7 in rotation. Like, what are we doing here? Not a fan of that. In any case, that's all I got this week. Thanks for listening to me yap again. Good to be back. Bye.